Everybody wants to cycle fast and be efficient, but what training are you guys doing to get there? Well, I've selected 4 key sessions that you can all do that can help you cycle faster over longer distances. One thing I do recommend is that you do these sessions on an indoor trainer, as it makes it much more effective and efficient. However, without further ado, let's just get into this. Session number 1, and this is a longer tempo ride, and for me this is absolutely essential and a staple in my workout routine. A session I love is 6 rounds of 15 minutes at 85 to 90% of FTP, with 5-minute recoveries in between, repeated 6 times. You're spending an hour and a half in total at tempo, and it's going to really help you condition your body to be able to hold these intensities without absolutely dying out. I would track heart rate when you first start off with this, just to make sure you're not pushing too hard at the beginning of these sessions, as going off too fast is really going to hamper what you get out of this session, and the worst thing that could possibly happen is that you fade towards the end. It's so counterproductive and will really affect the efficiency you get out of this workout. So make sure, whether you're tracking heart rate, power, whatever it is, track it and make sure you don't go off sort of course, because that is not good. As you progress with this as well, you can reduce your recovery times, which is only going to make it harder. Session number 2, and this is now actually slightly harder than the first one, and this is a threshold inter-tempo workout. Now it's juicy, and the purpose of this is to allow you to perform under fatigue and when you're tired and not just completely burn out, which so many people have issues with. My go-to session here is 5 minutes at threshold into 15 minutes at tempo, with 5-minute recoveries afterwards. This is repeated 6 times with then a 20-minute spin at the halfway point. This is a really tough session, and what you should find towards the end is that your legs start to fatigue a lot due to just those higher intensity threshold efforts before. For me, this really helps me get into shape and basically get ready for racing, so it's something that I'll do as I'm coming into the race season, and it's something that I'd recommend you guys do too. However, if you fail on this workout several times, I would just take it back down to session 1, as in, only do tempo efforts, don't worry about putting the threshold stuff into it, as just failing the sessions, as I was saying before, day in, day out, is not going to be productive at all. And if anything, it's going to hamper your overall progression and just add a whole load of additional fatigue. So if you're finding it too hard, just scale it backwards. It's far better to scale your sessions than push too hard, burn out, and then be unproductive. Session number 3, and this is the classic VO2 Max style interval workout. Now I love this. It is juicy, it is hard, it's meant to be like this. Now I've touched on a few of these workouts that I do on the channel before, so sorry if you've heard it already, but my go-to session here is 7 by 3 minutes at 120% of FTP, and if you find this too hard, just scale it back to 7 by 2 minutes at 120% of FTP. Although there's actually been some data released that suggests that working out in that 105 to 120% range is just as effective, so pick your percentage you want to use, whether it's at 105% or 120%, and you'll find working at those lower percentages, you're going to have less accumulative fatigue, so it may be a better option depending on how fast you tire out. But do remember, it is supposed to be a hard workout. This is a really great session to do if you want to build your FTP and you want to work on that top end power. It will do the job, it will get it done, and you'll progress pretty quickly if you do this session pretty consistently week in, week out. Finally, session number 4, and this is a pure threshold workout. It's pretty much stripped down, it's basic but very efficient. And for me, this is 6 by 10 minutes at 100% of FTP. Again, this is really hard, and if you find it tough, just scale it back down. You could do, say, 6 by 5 minutes at 100%. This is going to get you used to holding that higher end power, and I'm not going to say feel comfortable, because it's never really going to feel comfortable, but it's going to feel tolerable. Now, working at these sort of percentages is going to help you raise your FTP, and again, work on that top end power. The good thing with this, though, is it's quite a long session, so your legs are going to become really conditioned to holding these powers if you can actually get through the session and complete it. But like I said, scale it back if you need to. Now, it goes without saying, doing all 4 of these sessions in 1 week would be absolutely disastrous. The last thing you want to be doing is doing 4 brutally tough sessions in a week. I would maybe do 1 of the long ones and then either the threshold or VO2 Max session, depending on what your goal and objective is. And this is super important. Look, your sessions want to fit your overall objective. If you want to raise your FTP, then why are you going to do these long-styled sort of tempo workouts? If anything, it's going to hamper that objective. So know what you want to do, know what you want to achieve, and then pick your workouts that's going to allow you to get there. They're 4 of my key core sessions that I love and I do have in my plan generally, sort of from month to month. Now, if you've got any questions, let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!